You don't get it, do you? This useless, pathetic world will gradually fester over time. Only its destruction can bring about its salvation. And then, at long last, I will rule over the new world. I was so close.
The world we live in is one of unimaginable cruelty. Atrocities such as injustice, poverty, and tragedy plague the everyday lives of billions of people, with the only one promise that we're given being the indisputable fact that we will all one day die. And at times, it can be extremely hard to see the world for anything other than that inherent cruelty, for some far more than others. But within the great void of pain, grief, and misery that fills the lives of so many, there is often at least a glimmer of extraordinary beauty. Beauty that may find its way into our lives through things like kindness, compassion, love, and friendship, among so much else. But in a world where absolutely none of that beauty is promised to anyone, where the hand of fate and all of its cruelty bitterly robs undeserving people of their one chance to ever have or experience these crucial things, many may find themselves prematurely making way for that one single promise that they are given. Come, sweet death. A German expression that originated as the title of a song by composer Johann Sebastian Bach that serves to communicate the overall dismissal of life that one in despair may feel when presented with the eternal, almost peaceful certainty of their own approaching death. And in essence, this three-word phrase serves as the very epitome of the philosophy of death as deliverance, an ideological evolution of the extreme, albeit understandable notion that compared to the unwarranted anguish of life, the eternal slumber that is death may be nothing short of salvation. A belief that is unfortunately held, or at the very least offhandedly felt, by far more people in this world than we as a society are really all that comfortable admitting. A phenomenon that the game later goes on to explore further through the eventual rise and prevalence of a mass death cult led by the members of Strega, where Takaya and Jin directly take advantage of this widespread apathy, using fear-mongering and manipulation tactics to garner a large, like-minded following of dedicated believers in their twisted cause. This idea is also explored through the aforementioned disease known as apathy syndrome that plagues the lives of teenagers and young adults all across the game's setting of Tatsumi Port Island, serving as a pretty clever metaphor and commentary on the declining mental health and well-being of Japan's young people during the 90s and 2000s, an implication that tends to fly over most Western players' heads during their first experience with this game, including myself. In fact, I highly recommend checking out Lady Virgilia's video on this very topic. It's what introduced me to this deeper cultural aspect of Persona 3's themes of apathy, and it's a really interesting watch. But while the despondent yearning for the release of death is something that on its own is rather selfless and harmful only to the individual at hand, it's a low point that, when combined with hatred and malice towards others, can and will transform from a mere sympathetic disposition into what those of us who've never hit those sheer levels of rock bottom can only describe as pure evil. A recipe that throughout human history has led to the creation of some of the most dangerous people in the entire world. And Shuji Ikutsuki, as well as Takaya and Jin of Strega, are Persona 3's shining examples of this truth, that those who have absolutely nothing to lose are the ones who won't even hesitate to end it all and bring everyone that they can along with them. And while by this point, these characters have all reached such heinous levels of depravity that they don't at all deserve redemption or forgiveness, one simply can't deny that they, at the very least, warrant the slightest bit of sympathy and understanding. So take Persona 3's crazed villains as a cautionary tale, a call to look out for and to be there for your fellow people, because the ones who always inevitably end up causing the most harm often go wholly unnoticed, forgotten, hiding in plain sight until it's far too late. In following both his wicked betrayal of the team and the murder of Mitsuru's father, Shuji Ikutsuki finally makes his much-awaited escape from the world that he hated more than anything, leaving those he hurt to writhe even further in its cold, bitter cruelty.